Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, is the man who will ask Taylor Swift to marry him on Super Bowl Sunday, Mr. Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I was doing well till you just put that out there. Not a damn chance, buddy. Not a damn chance. But
You're right.
I'm excited to be here. I'm so excited. I'm not wearing pants.
That's right. Yeah, this is the unofficial Shane pod. It's the Dumpuary Rewind, if you will, where, all those movies you're like, you might skip over something like action thing that maybe should have gone straight to streaming or whatever. Shane is like, fuck you. I'm in there first row. Let's do this.
I'm like hungry hippo. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Chomp.
The tearaway pants. He's just all good. He's in the game, sunglasses on for no reason. He's just there.
Swinging it.
Exactly. But yeah, good to see you, sir. Glad to be back in the fold here. You will be covering most of this stuff. This is the heavy load on you. You did a great job because outside of the Netflix stuff I've been doing, it's been kind of a rough Dumpuary, enjoying watching maybe NFL playoffs maybe more than movies, or even, as we always say this time of year, TV kicking films ass at the moment.
Yeah.
Plus the catch up for things that came out technically in 2023 that we've now watched in 2024, like things like Society of the Snow or whatever that I've watched, doesn't technically count against my 2024 count. So, oh well. But let's get 2024. Is this the first kind of movie reviews that we did for the year?
This is
That's
it, buddy.
Wild.
Yeah.
This is a weird lineup to do it. So let's get it done, man. Let's start up top. We got The Beekeeper, which, it's your man, Jason Statham, doing basically just a one-man wrecking crew movie of all timer versions of this. One man's brutal campaign for vengeance takes on national stakes after he is revealed to be a former operative of a powerful and clandestine organization known as Beekeepers. This is directed by David Ayers. I was like, what? God. Is this the movie you get put in director jail after Suicide Squad was so bad? Or how does that work? Because he's an odd director.
He's an odd director, but a director I find entertaining most of the time.
Yeah, End of Watch. I'm
Love
all
that
about
movie,
it.
Yes.
Yeah, but then he also does, Bright or God. And obviously I already mentioned the Suicide Squad. Yeah, he's almost like in every other sort of. Fury's good, End of Watch is good, but yeah, he's an odd duck. He goes back and forth. He's still making music videos. This guy's all over the place.
He is all over the map.
But is this, Shane, a comeback story for him with your boy Jason Statham? Because I'm curious to know. I saw this movie too. This is one of the rare ones that we cross over. So I'm curious. As far as Statham movie goes, because, there's a different scale. Normally we're out of 5 stars. But for Jason Statham, especially the ones where he's outside of some kind of franchise, or if he's not hanging out with Guy Ritchie.
Right.
There's a level of Statham that this movie is in. You know what I mean?
Right.
And how would you characterize this one versus the rest of Statham's kind of movies?
Oh, okay. Out of the most recent Statham batch, I would say this is definitely an uptick for him. Based on what I'm looking at, it's better than the Meg stuff. Like you said, you take the Guy Ritchie stuff out, which he's always on fire, except for the Operation Fortune one. Outside of that, what do you got? Fast and the Furious, Spy, which was more of a comedic role, but he was great in it. So
yeah, he's also not the lead in that, right?
Right. I guess you got to go back to Homefront with James Franco and Winona Ryder, but again, that was 2013.
I love The Bank Job, and I always forget how old that one. I think that's 2008, right? That's way further back.
The Bank Job is 2008, correct? Good job there. Yeah. Then the other. Let's look at the other series. You had The Transporter, right? Transporter. Right. He was in 3 of those.
Yep.
I like this better than the Transporter series. I do.
Okay.
I like this movie. So for him, I think it's a step up. And I don't know what that says about his filmography. And you're like, oh, really? He ain't stepping up for much. Watch your mouth, first of all. This was a great vehicle for him, I think, and I will get to it, but I really hope this spawns a second part because I like the character, I like the premise, I just kind of want to see more of it at the end.
Here's what I'll say, and I will watch my tone and angles with you. Of course, I will do a little dance. Everything where Statham is on the screen and action is happening, I'm all about this movie. Everything else is a fucking dumpster fire. It's especially because Josh Hutcherson is another one, kind of like David Ayer, of like, what are you doing? Like between Five Nights at Freddy's and whatever he's supposed to be doing here, I wasn't on his level. And the daughter who is the FBI agent, the daughter of Felicia Rashad's character,
right?
She was terrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand her. I didn't understand her, which is even worse. Like, she should have more of a motive even than Statham, or at least close to, because it's family, whatever, and the revenge. And she's an FBI agent.
Right.
Yet she goes from back and forth between being a mess and just being mad or whatever. Like, she's very inconsistent. I thought her I don't know. She was just bad, just tonally. She was all over the place, and I didn't vibe with her at all. And then Jeremy Irons is kind of like supposed to be the professional here, and it lasted about a few minutes, and then he turned it over to the psychos. So, again, all the action, all that stuff that I was geared up for when I saw the trailer, cool. Everything else, I don't know, man.
well, here's the thing, man. Like, yes, they didn't develop any other characters, but when I go into a movie like this, honestly, it delivered on the action, and there was a lot of it. So it kind of covered most of the movie, right? Yeah, I thought the daughter, the FBI agent, didn't show any emotion when her mom died. I was like, wow, you're not even okay. No emotion at all. Just whatever. Drink the vodka out of the coffee cup and carry on.
Yeah.
I thought the Australians they bought at the end were cartoony, but I was like, all right, they're kind of fun. I just whatever.
Well, they also made a ham out of the replacement of Statham after he retired from the Beekeepers too.
Yeah,
which they made it. It's almost video gamey.
It was
in a way, but they tried too much in between to try to look professional. So it's like pick a lane.
Right. You had Minnie Driver in a nondescript role here too. Just toss her name out there. Like she could. Like I don't know why they chose her for this role. She was like what 2 scenes and didn't do anything. Right.
Yeah.
And Josh Hutcherson as your bad. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But it's an IT company, so I'm like, okay, a scam. That would be what the villain would look like. So I don't know what I was thinking. Like he's not gonna be some big brooding person, right? He's gonna be someone like Josh,
especially
Hutcherson.
if he's a spoiled kid, of a president or whatever.
And I always say when you come to this movie, I don't care about plot. I honestly don't. Like if it delivers on the action and him fighting one boss to get to the top level. Yeah, I'm okay with it, and I loved it. Now, people are, but the plot. Yeah, once you find out how high this thing goes, it's like, oh, really? Okay. It goes to the president. Get the fuck out of here. But, the action just worked for me, man. And I can see Jason Statham do anything. I like his demeanor. I like his character. He was cold, calculating, but he didn't kill anyone he didn't need to kill. Like the FBI agents, he was like shooting them in the knees or legs and stuff. Like, I liked his coldness in this movie and the coolness he had with he was still, sympathetic to certain people. Sure. I just liked he was just so point on and badass. It's like, this is what I'm doing. And he had some great kills in it. Like when he tied the kid up to the car and let it go over the bridge. That was cool. And cut his fingers off.
I wish that wasn't in the trailer, but I get you got to sell a movie. You know what wasn't in the trailer that I liked? My favorite? The elevator.
Oh, that was great, wasn't it?
That was sick to just drop the elevator and have people get caught in between. Oh God, it was gross and a little CG, but it was pretty nice.
Yeah, and that's why this movie delivered to me, right? Like I thought the second Beekeeper would have been more of a presence in this film, but she was kind of like a throwaway. I think he dispensed her way too quick. To be honest with you, it almost reminded me of the Ruby Rose character.
I wish they had something in common, like like some knowing version, but it was very little at best.
Yeah, she reminded me of the throwaway Ruby Rose character in John Wick 2. You know what I mean?
But just obviously, again, like you said, cartoonish, really out there. Outlandish.
Yeah, really out there, cartoonish with the minigun and the high heel boots and the dyed hair. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
she looked like she was sent back from the future in a 1980s movie. Like, she just, like, dropped out of the sky.
Right. But again, Jason Statham carried the day. He's such a badass in the action, and he's really good at it. So that's why I gave this movie a pass, because it was a lot of fun, man. Like, the action was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of it. So
yeah,
I understand your point if it went gaps without it, like long gaps without any action or anything going on. But, like, he had enough on screen, like 90% of the movie, so I was fine with it.
And you mentioned the whole second possibility of a second movie,
right?
And the obviously the end is very ambiguous, on purpose. I thought it actually just kind of ended weird. Did you feel like it got maybe chopped
a little
or
bit,
something? Because he kind of just fades away, like in the middle of an escape. So I thought it was kind of abrupt. So I didn't know if there was like a note from the studio being like, just end this thing, will you? Like, we know what we're doing here.
Right.
And maybe, leave some of, even if it's the cutting room stuff, to open the second one. That's not terrible either, but I don't know. I don't see a second one only because you're like, screw the plot. But the plot needs to have something for me to care to go to the next. And you'll probably just be like, what you need to care is Jason Statham is a freaking beekeeper killing people with honey,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Which again, that's what got me to this one, but I don't know. I'm lukewarm on the possibility of a sequel. So, do you want to give a grade? I'm very curious.
Well, no, I'm listen, I could put stuff in perspective. I think I kind of know where you're going to go with your grade. We're not that far off, but I did give it a 3 out of 5.
I wasn't as offended as bad as the Meg 2 was, and especially for how late they went to the party, even have the action that we wanted. So at least this one delivered the action.
Right.
So I'd probably, be like 2.5 at most, 2.25 cheat code, whatever. If I wanted to do that, it's in that range.
Did you just say 2.25?
What? Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, you just got my blood pressure up a little bit. I was fine with your 2.5 because I thought that's where you were going.
Well, I said it's somewhere in.
I know.
It's somewhere in there.
I'm just teasing.
We're not that far off. Come on. It's a good thing we do this podcast in different states. All right. Let's move on to the next one because I'm curious. Like, your Jason Statham love is one thing, but then when we're talking just straight Dumpuary movies that are just, it has a little something, but there's a reason why it's in January. So let's see. Let's do I.S.S. next.
Okay.
This one, it was an intriguing trailer. Give the people the backstory on this one because you're the one who saw it, so I'll give you the floor on this one.
Real quick, the caption here is tensions flare in the near future aboard the International Space Station as a conflict breaks out on Earth, revealing that U.S. and Russian astronauts receive orders from the ground to take countermeasures and take over the I.S.S. That is the backdrop to this movie. Very small cast. You have Chris Messina, who is based on a true story. He's been around. You got John Gallagher Jr., who I really like. You have Pilu Asbeck, who was in that terrible Stallone movie from Prime, but he was also in Game of Thrones. So
I was about to say he's been in a few things we liked. And Chris Messina from Argo, at least give him that, buddy. Pilu Asbeck. I liked him quite a bit in Overlord.
Yep. Great in that one.
And yeah, Samaritan was the one you were reaching for with Prime. Yeah, that sucked big time. Yeah, he's been in a couple other movies outside of his run with Game of Thrones. And he was even in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, but not enough to remember. Nobody cares. So yes, sorry. Who else? There was Ariana DeBose. I know, Academy Award winner, and you're like, let me just save her until like the last person here.
I was. Go ahead, fill her in because I recognize her, but I didn't do an IMDb search on her.
Well, she won for West Side Story. She was the one who won Best Supporting Actress for that one. So yeah, she's very good. She's very talented, and this is a little off of what she's obviously been doing. Because I.S.S. I don't think will make it to the Academy level this year, unless you tell me otherwise, man. Fill me in. Let me know.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't have any expectations heading into this movie because I saw the one trailer and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And we are in the month of January. I'm like, all right, let me go check this out. So it has a perfect runtime of an hour and a half.
Right.
It's pretty quick moving. And your girl, Ariana, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Ariana DeBose.
Yeah, she did carry most of the movie. She was like the focal point towards the end of the movie. But again, you have this nice, you got these new arrivals, John Gallagher and Ariana, who go up. They're joining this mission of Americans and Russians. There's like 3 on each, so they're kind of even. Right. And then all hell breaks out on Earth. They both get their separate messages, and it's a cat and mouse game from there on out. They don't know who to trust. They don't know how to act because they're scientists up there, right? So they're not military. They don't have any military background.
Right.
So it's kind of a cat and mouse game. Like, do I take out the Americans? Like, what's going to happen? And I like the tension this movie set. I really did. I was on the edge of my seat. Like, all right, and plus you're up in space. You have that claustrophobic feel. And once the first incident happens, because I don't want to ruin this for anyone, you get a couple twists or one really good twist, and you got stuff that you don't see coming towards the end of this movie that I like. So it really kept you on your toes.
Right.
And I really like the acting here because I like Chris Messina. He's the captain. He's like in charge of the American crew. And then it just was a nice cast, good chemistry, good thrills. Now, if you saw the trailer, it almost will lead you to believe like this is like going to be blood and guts horror movie. They're going to just kill each other till one person standing. That's how they kind of set this movie up. But it's really not. It's more of a tight suspense thriller with a good twist at the end. I really dug it, man. I really, they had some really nice shots. I like the director. Like we mentioned, I don't recognize him except for that one movie that you mentioned, Our Friend. But I liked it. I liked the feel he gave you with some of his close-up shots. And I thought it was well done for an obviously low-budget film, a movie they dumped in January. I had a good time. I wouldn't recommend it for to pay an evening price for it. But if you had, wanted to go see a matinee for a little cheaper, I give it a recommend, man. I really do.
Yeah. Did it remind you of anything? Because if kind of I feel like there's another movie coming out after this one that has a very similar plot, so I'm not going to kill this movie for that, obviously. But the first ones I thought of was it's kind of like if they took the end of Armageddon and just made a whole movie out of it, sort of. Whereas the infighting on the plane, all that stuff, and then Stowaway. Do you remember that one from Netflix?
I do.
Where it was the Anna Kendrick movie,
yep.
Where it's kind of it gets very tense up there because they have this person that's stowed away on the aircraft and it messed their routine up. And,
I would say more Stowaway than Armageddon. Okay. Because outside from the aerial view, you see Earth from their view, they don't really focus on that too much. They keep it in tight quarters.
Right.
And they do develop most of the characters here pretty well, as much as they could for an hour and a half. And you got 6 people on screen almost all the time. Right. I thought they did develop their characters, and you actually latched on to one or two people here, right? So they really did a good job. But more Stowaway than anything else, I would say. So I would recommend it, man. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, to be honest with you. Yeah, I really did. Now you may see what the hell did you just watch there? This is a 2, right?
Yeah, because I think it has something like a 5.8 or something on IMDb when I was scanning. So
last time I checked, it was 62% critic with a higher audience score. So it falls in that range somewhere, man.
That is a Dumpuary score. That it is.
It is again, but what's out there now is one of the I feel bad saying it, but one of the better Dumpuary movies I've seen.
Yeah, I've heard other critics say that this is a particularly thin Dumpuary. Right. And February, I kind of looked forward a little bit today, and outside of Argyle and
Madam Web,
Madam Web, and the Bob Marley biopic, and it's we still got some tough sledding, maybe. Although there's some horror movies that we keep seeing, at least I keep seeing the trailers for that look pretty good.
Look pretty good.
Out. Yeah, like that. Was it Abigail's the one by the guys from Radio Silence?
I'm all over that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ready or Not all over again,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm like, okay, well, they know how to do that movie, so let's do it. There's at least that aspect. There was one other one. I don't know. There's been a couple. Oh, and even that Sydney Sweeney Nun one looks quite good too. So there's a few things coming up. So I'm not like completely down on the upcoming slate, but man, I might need some surprises to help me out. So Founders Day. So far we're going like kind of in ascending order or hanging around pretty good scores for you. So does Founders Day keep on that trend, or where are we going with this one? Because obviously coming on the heels of Thanksgiving, where it's like we're doing this holiday murder with probably a person in a mask and these type of things. Is it akin to that? I've met these guys. I know, was it the Bloomquist brothers do this, and Larry Dwyer, friend of the pod, like his daughter's in it and I think he might be in it too. Like there's a whole thing, there's a whole connection. I was not able to see it when they did like kind of their little friendly screening the other night. But I am interested to see how this goes because I've liked some of their stuff in the past. Right. I believe you liked She Came from the Woods.
I did.
More than I did. And I believe that was his last movie, right?
It was, yep.
So what did you think of Founders Day?
Okay, let me try to gather my thoughts here because at first I was all over the place. I'm like, God, this movie's garbage. Like it's hot garbage. Like it's
not getting very good scores.
Right.
Yeah.
It's set in like this small town in Massachusetts. And I understand what the Bloomquist brothers were going for. It had like a political satire backdrop to this movie where they have this big mayoral election going on with the income and outgoing. And they have these two factions that are just picketing in the middle of the street, which they would never do for the mayoral race, but whatever, about who they're going to vote for and who they, whatever. Then the backdrop, you have these teenagers in this high school, and I forgot the guy from I always think Boy Meets World. He was the dad, but he's like the teacher in this movie. And I kept thinking Boy Meets World.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So I didn't jive with that because I thought it was a little too over the top with what they were trying to go for. But I'd appreciate it because it was kind of like a different, I guess, backdrop for a horror movie. I've never seen that kind of backdrop before. It's a throwback to like the 90s slasher flicks. Think if like a studio went up to Kevin Williamson and said, hey, we want you to make a movie that's just going to be shown on USA Up all night. Like, here you go, right? I know if you're under 45, that reference is going to hit, but Andrew knows what I'm talking about.
I'm 41, motherfucker. I got that shit. I'm good.
But if in your 30s, you're not going to get that reference, right?
Probably, yeah.
Right. But anyway, it's like a B movie. It's like a B movie Kevin Williamson film. Nice mask. I like the concept. What drove me crazy are the two candidates running for mayor. They were just over the top bad acting. And I know they don't get great people here, but they were just so cringeworthy acting in this. But I like the leads. You had Naomi Grace plays Allison. She's like the main focus, and then Devin Druid, Adam, is the other like main character. And as this movie's going, like, again, the plot, I'm like, okay, where the hell are they going with this? Because as the murders start happening, they're not connecting in kind of any way. But what saved this movie was the last 10 minutes. It made sense, right? They went back and kind of filled you in on like the kind of some of the behind the scenes that you didn't see on screen. Like, oh, she did this to this person. They set this up this way. Right. It started making sense. At the end, does it really make sense on why they decided to kill all these people? No, it's far-fetched and ridiculous, right? But I like the mask. I like the concept. I like some of the kills were really good. Like, I was like, oh, shit. Okay, so it was good.
Yeah.
The end is what made me think, all right, I actually kind of like this movie now. Looking back at some of the first scenes I saw that really pissed me off, I'm like, okay, I like it. Some of the characters, again, just weren't developed. I think the Bloomquist office, She Came from the Woods, too. I think they have a problem with developing their, I don't want to call them bullies, but they're outcast characters. They're bullies. They're over the top, detention seeker students, Just like She Came from the Woods, I thought they were just too over the top and too cartoony. Same thing happened here. You got this guy, the boyfriend-girlfriend combo, that were just way over the top and just, it was almost like an 80s throwback with their characters and how bad they were. outside of that, I actually had a decent time with this movie, man. I did. I liked it a little more than She Came from the Woods, to be honest with you. So
Okay.
I would like to see them handle something on a little bigger scale, if that makes any kind of sense, because conceptually, I like what they have to offer. And what they missed here is they went for some humor with the head sheriff or the commissioner, and
Right.
none of their humor hit. Like, none of it hit. So if they could kind of tweak that out, it would be fun. Because, most slasher flicks have those one-liners and you laugh and you chuckle. They fell flat in every damn joke they try to tell here. So, but again, I enjoyed it. I ended up giving this one a little bit lower than I.S.S. I ended up giving it a 3, though. I gave it a 3 out of 5. If you're a horror fan and compared to Thanksgiving, I would watch Thanksgiving more than I would watch this one, but they're close. Like, they're not that far apart.
Yeah, they kind of have that hallmark when you brought up the humor thing. They kind of put that through all the movies that I've seen. I saw Night at the Eagle Inn, one of Larry Dwyer's Connecticut classic nights. They did kind of like a local indie kind of showcase, and this was one of those films. And then, as you mentioned with She Came from the Woods, they kind of do that too. I think I like that they put in the humor because I think they come from a place where they know those 80s movies that we were talking about, like those kind of like B horror movie stuff, and kind of like ingrained it into these films. I just don't know if it works as much or if it's just too corny, or just like you need a little bit of it to like land and not be like cringy. I guess. So that it sounds like you're on that same wavelength.
Yeah, this one's more cringy and awkward than funny. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where I fell on that.
Yeah, and it's got to make sense within the film too. It can't distract too much. But again, a lot of them did in the 80s, and we liked it. So somewhere, they're trying to aim for a cult classic of their own with these, I guess.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of slasher genre for horror, go see this movie, man. It's like I said, it's right after Thanksgiving.
All right, so the rest of these that we have kind of written down, I'm just curious more than anything. So obviously, I've been keeping up with my Netflix original movie reviews for what's on Netflix.com. Go check those out. I covered The Kitchen and Badland Hunters that I know you watch both of them. Mm-hmm. I'm curious to know your opinion on those. Let's start with Badland Hunters because that's the most recent. Don Lee, who many people would know in this country for Train to Busan or the ungodly boring Marvel's Eternals that he was in as well. So this is kind of him trying to, capitalize on his crossover success alongside with Netflix doing a lot more Korean films, especially action films. And it's a directorial debut from a longtime martial arts and stunts expert, but he worked on things like Old Boy and Mongol, The Rise of Genghis Khan, and some other films. And I don't know, man. I'm curious to see what you thought. I wasn't that impressed. There's some decent action, and obviously Don Lee himself, he packs quite a punch. He's a brooding big dude who's impressive for how he can kind of move. And I thought he was kind of funny at times in the movie too, but everything outside of it, I just wasn't that impressed. Where were you with Badland Hunters?
Yeah, kind of the same. I think I enjoyed it a little more than you, but I liked his presence on screen. You said he was fun. He was the funniest part of the movie. I like them trying to get together with the girl with all the jewelry. I thought those moments were fun.
Yeah, I mean, let me just set it for the people before maybe you go through, because this movie's kind of a little odd. It's kind of like a spiritual sequel to another movie, Concrete Utopia, that literally just came out not long ago, at least in this country. And it's set in that space. It's like a desolate post-earthquake Seoul, where water's scarce. People are living in squalor, and Nam San, who is Don Lee's character, finds himself as kind of this hunter-gatherer for his local village. And it's kind of like, I almost was like, is this Road Warrior, where it's like instead of gas, it's water or whatever, or whatever it was. But yeah, so basically he befriends one of the local village teenage girls, one of the rare ones that's still around, I guess, post-earthquake in this area. And they're approached by this woman as a teacher to bring back to this place that kind of is like an oasis for that area. Like it's an apartment building that has like fresh, clean water and can shower and you can do all these things. And they have a school, and she's like, we're trying to recruit these young people. And then obviously it's kind of like a cult, a lab experiment. It's whatever.
Basically, you got a doctor trying to turn people into salamanders so they can regenerate. That's what I took out of this movie.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to get people to be more adaptable to the harsh conditions that are going to go forward, while also being super creepy with like the decapitated version of his daughter that died in the earthquake. I thought that whole part didn't make a lot of sense.
It made no sense.
To me, this movie is the apartment stuff, like all the action stuff, like the onslaught that happens once Donnelly and all that crew show up. Everything else is just shit.
I agree. Again, I think I enjoyed it a little more than you did. I like when they did have action, I loved it, man. Like, again, when they go to the apartment, when he takes his crew to that house where the two gangs are fighting, that was a great scene. I just wish there was more of it. I really do. Like, I laughed when the tiger character, like when he was punching people, he's like, good night.
Yeah, I love that too. I love that too.
That was a great scene. So it had good scenes, good action scenes, but everything else was all over the place. And they had long gaps, I felt like, where really nothing was going on.
Yeah.
And they needed to tighten it up a little bit more, put more action in there. Because I wanted to see Nam San, who, like you said, I wanted to see him carry the film a little bit more because, again, he was such a funny, and for a big guy, like you said, he was nimble, right? So I liked him in this movie, but it just kind of fell flat in a lot of areas. And, again, you got salamander people running around. I don't know. Like, it just, it was just all over the place. But
they didn't fully work that in very well. Like, the sergeant from the special forces group, whatever that she was with, who, by the way, I put as my MVP of the movie because I liked her a lot, and I thought the movie kicked in after she showed up.
Yes, agreed. So, I wish she was more in it during the apartment conflict. You know what I mean? Because they kind of went away from her for a while.
Yeah, I thought she had the more personable storyline with an actual backstory. So I was like, lean on that. Let's do it. You have the muscle. You have all this stuff. Make her more of the in-row here. They didn't. Not as much as they should have. And by the way, rumor has it that she did 99% of those action stunts herself. This woman is a badass. I hope she does some more like American, maybe crossover stuff. That would be cool. But yeah, they didn't know what to do. But the her crew that was left behind there, I guess they had bifurcated tongues and kind of hissed at people. I couldn't fully tell. I was like, what are they supposed to be doing exactly?
I don't know. They're lizard. Like I said, they're lizard people.
Yeah, but they didn't show them up close enough to like get like good. I don't know if it's because the effects weren't good or just whatever, but I didn't get like a great sense of like what monsters these people were.
Except for the guy at the end who had half his face ripped off, and you saw like that reptilian eye with the scales underneath his skin. Sure. Right?
Yeah.
But then the doctor himself had all the bubbly boiled skin, so I don't know, man. Like this,
I don't know.
Who knows?
And that's what I'm saying. All that like science mumbo jumbo stuff didn't equate to anything really in this movie, and that's kind of where I left it.
So what did you I'll tell you what I scored it. All right, I scored it a 2.5.
Yeah, I gave it a 2.
Okay.
At least I gave it a 2 because we do whole numbers,
right?
So I was closer to the 2 than I was a 3, so I gave it a 2.
Okay.
So at most, again, it's probably a 2.5 because again, the action stuff shows promise. The guy who's former stunt coordinator is going to do good action. Shock. But for the rest of his directorial skills is, non-existent a little bit. Like he's got work to do. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, I was somewhere in that range. Weirdly, it's not, I don't want to say that. I guess it's it was a similar feeling to how I was feeling about The Beekeeper, where it's like the action stuff works. Just give me just enough to move me from one thing to another, please.
Correct. But at least with the Beekeeper, you had way more action than this
Oh,
movie.
yeah, it's a good portion of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. And then the last one, I just was curious because I actually kind of like this one, is The Kitchen, which is more of like a dystopian sci-fi, I want to say thriller. It's got like an interesting mix of different genres, kind of. This is a co-direction, and half of that co-direction is from Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out, Judas and the Black Messiah, Spider-Man's Across the Spider-Verse, etc. Nope, all that. This is his first any kind of directorial debut, alongside co-director Kibu Tavares, who he won like a short award from Sundance Film Festival back a long ways ago. So this is kind of like his first thing. I was surprised that I saw Michael Fassbender is a producer on the film. And then, they're the guys who did Combat Horses and Gangs of London, Joe Murtaugh, did the script. So I was kind of like up for this. I was like, and it looked kind of cool. I don't know. I'm curious. My words are on the internet. You can start here. What did you think of this movie? Because it's a little all over the place, but there are things that I liked about it too.
All right. So let me start the positive here.
Sure.
I thought it was a crisp, clean looking film. I thought it really painted a picture of the dystopia that's going on, like with the what was the part they lived in? What they call
kitchen.
The kitchen? Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
The kitchen compared to everywhere else. I thought the world they lived in was well done, so I liked that part of it. Everything else fell flat for me. Like, I did like the acting with the actor who played Benji, the young kid.
Yeah,
and,
I thought so.
I thought the acting was great. But this movie was painfully slow for me. Like, just painfully slow. And the pacing just really got to me after a while. I got bored with it. The Benji character, you kind of gravitate toward him because he's kind of torn between his mother passes away, so you're torn. I just thought it was funny how he's flown from one group of kids and going back to what eventually would be, I don't know if you want to spoil it, but like the Kano character.
Yeah.
Like just free flowing without any kind of, I thought there'd be more involvement in the gangs. I thought we would get more into the heists, more into, I don't know. I just wanted a little more, not even action, but just stuff like moving forward to try to like get out of the kitchen or like do what they gotta do. It just, a lot of it fell flat for me, man, to be honest with you. I didn't get the connection between Benji and Kano. I didn't feel that at all.
Because they played it at arm's length.
Yeah.
And they really didn't do enough in either flashback or other things. This is a movie that has a lot of ideas and doesn't follow through on a lot of them.
Perfectly said. Better said than what I just spewed out there, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, but you're not wrong. I mean, like, I said in here that there's a lot to admire with world building and tone setting, like basically like production design, visual effects, and like you said, how well it was, in terms of cinematography, things of that nature. But yeah, definitely the movie didn't have a complete thought. It just feels like, and for a movie that I think was in development for quite a long time, it doesn't feel fully baked even now.
Right.
So that was tough. But I agree. I actually gave my MVP of the film to Benji too, because this kid, especially for having like next to nothing on his resume, was really good. And he has kind of at least something. It's interesting. It's almost a movie that I wish we saw more through his eyes than Kano.
Yeah, I agree.
Because at least he has that ground level look where he could be like in awe of kind of what the kitchen and that surrounding area is, but also get swept up in something dangerous and be regrettable and everything else. So I thought that was a more compelling storyline. And so for the fact that they didn't know where to go with it and it's kind of all over the place. For a movie that's under 2 hours, it kind of felt like it dragged a little too because of that.
Yes.
So that's where I landed with it, where like I think it has a lot of highs and a lot of like things that you could point to be like, God, if they just had a better script, God, this would be like a good, what it felt like a little bit? Like The Creator, where it's like, except The Creator had a much, much bigger budget, but it's like it's like you got all this effects, all these great, things to look at, and then the story is like, okay.
Yeah, and here's what threw me off a little bit is after the movie, of course, I went to Rotten Tomato, and this was kind of demonstrate to what you said. Like the critics have this at 87%, where the audience is at 44%, right?
Yeah.
But I read this afterward. This is right on Rotten Tomato, the movie info, right? It says, ex-smash and grabber Izzy is desperate to go straight, but when his young son contracts a devastating illness, he is forced to take part in a heist that will change the lives of everyone in the kitchen forever. So I'm watching this movie thinking, all right, when's his illness coming on? And when's this big heist that's going to change the kitchen for? Did I miss that part? Did I fall asleep during that part?
This movie has gone through multiple permutations. That's right.
That sounds better than what I watched, though.
Right. Yeah. That was the original log line, like a couple years ago.
Okay.
And I don't know what switched. Did they have like poor test screenings? Did they do reshoots? Did they do whatever? I have no idea what happened after that, but I saw that same thing in a summation thing, like a preview thing years ago. Because I think it went, I don't know, to go through BFI or whatever film festival stuff. I think there were changes. There were things changed on the fly. So
well, then Rotten Tomato, update your damn website because I'm waiting for this kid.
Yeah, watch the modern movie, please.
Yeah, I'm watching this kid. I'm waiting for this kid to get deathly ill, and I'm waiting for this big heist to come up, and nothing happened. I'm like,
nothing happened. Nope, it's not that movie anymore. So
I wish it was.
But yeah, so the movie, I give it a 3 out of 5 because like the things that I was more interested in, I was like very impressed by. But there's so many things that you could just go, well, that kind of petered out.
Yeah, as bored as I was, and I was really bored, I still gave this a 3.5 because, again, I could appreciate, again, the cinematography, the world building. It painted a great picture. So for all that, I gave it a 3.5. It just fell flat. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right there where you are.
Yeah, it could have been so much more, and that's the problem. But yeah, good on you, man. It's a lot of watching for Dumpuary stuff. I know I had one movie in particular, well, probably two, that I didn't get to that I was saddened that I didn't get to by this type of episode because I don't know if it'll get lost in the weeds. Did you have anything that like you're like, I wish I got to this?
Yeah, actually I do, and it would have been a terrible movie, but since we're in Dumpuary, I missed out on Night Swim. Maybe I could catch it before the end of the month.
That is a Shane movie, yeah.
That is a Shane movie, and it's a Dumpuary movie. So
it's getting throttled too.
It is. So, yeah. It is, but we're in January, and if we're doing this episode, that's the one movie I'm like, I should have seen it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
What do I got? How many days do I got left in January here? 2?
You got what? Yeah, a couple. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, man, go for it. And then, just go on like Instagram stories or something and just be like, all right, guys, I made it. All right. It's January 31st. I got it, guys. Yeah. But yeah, I think what I wanted to see was Self-Reliance, the Jake Johnson movie that's on Hulu. That was the one that I wanted to check out because that's a movie that's getting kind of a mixed review, and I've seen some people who really champion it, who I respect. So I'm curious about that one. So I'm still gonna try to check that one out.
It's an interesting movie.
Did you see it?
I did see it.
Oh, then what are we doing here, man? Pop it in there. What did you think?
It was uneven. I like Jack Johnson. Okay. It gets a little. In case you didn't know, like he gets involved in this contest or game reality show where if he survives for 30 days, he gets $1 million.
Right.
But the catch is someone has to be literally next to him the entire time, and these bounty hunters can't touch him. So he starts befriending people to try to stay near him. His family thinks he's crazy because he's going through this. He went through this breakup, and he's still not over it. He has issues with his dad. So he's kind of like a messed up character, and his family knows he went through therapy, and they don't believe him, and he's trying to convince these people that these guys are after me. So the best part is he befriends this bum on the street who becomes like his homie throughout the movie. I thought that was the best part of the movie. Who
plays that guy? Is there anyone we know?
No one we know.
Okay.
Here's where the movie fell flat for me. Andrew Kendrick's character. Right. I thought she severely overacted here. Okay. I thought she was a throwaway character at the end. They didn't develop her really at much. I didn't feel that connection with them two.
Gotcha.
And she kind of throws a twist in there during the storyline, and it kind of ruined it for me a little bit. But overall, it's an uneven directorial debut by Jack Johnson. I do like him.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Jake Johnson. Thank you for correcting me. Jake
like,
Johnson.
He's not a
singer,
Hawaiian folks.
Right,
Yeah.
Sorry. But no,
I do like Jack Johnson though. So shout out to Jack Johnson.
I do. So I enjoyed this movie for what it was. I ended up giving it, I think, a 2.5. Right. It wasn't terrible for first time out. I liked where he was going, but a lot of it just kind of, I don't know, just kind of fell flat in a lot of areas, especially the Anna Kendrick character. Fine at the beginning of the movie, but when you find out what she's really all about, you're like, okay. I do like the Andy Samberg self cameos in this movie.
Okay.
I thought those were fun. And there's some funny, some of the assassins are pretty funny. Like one's dressed like Mario. They're all dressed like characters. You got one dressed like Ellen, one dressed like Mario. And that's why people don't believe. It's like Mario's chasing that. Like I got my ass kicked by Ellen, so no one believes him. So yeah, it had potential.
Okay.
So it's definitely worth a watch, though, especially since it's on Hulu.
Right.
Give it a watch.
Yeah, I'm aiming towards the weekend to watch that one because no football playoffs, nothing. We got Argyle. I'll probably end up catching that on Thursday night or something. So for the weekend at home with the kids and stuff, when they go to bed, that seems like a perfect movie for that. So I will try to do that. Great job by you, man.
Yeah,
real digging deep for Dumpuary. This is Shane time. I feel like last year's was a little bit better, but we'll keep aiming for higher. I mean, the writer's strike is screwing up all the schedule, even worse than probably what it should have been. So we'll see. We got some other stuff coming down the pike that looks promising, and hopefully Argyle is too. I love Matthew Vaughn, so we'll see that for next week. Anything else from you, sir?
That's it, man. Just looking forward to Argyle.
Yeah,
Matthew Vaughn's my boy.
I know. I like him too. He rarely misses. He's at least entertaining every single time, so hopefully this one follows suit. Everybody else out there, thank you for listening. Go give us 5-star review wherever you guys listen. Follow us at Recent Act Pod on Instagram, Twitter, wherever. And come back next week for more recent activity.